your streaming crowd, you could. That's always an option. Uh, Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are here on a Sunday. Here's something we need to do. Let's take care of some business ahead of time.
Are you enjoying what you see week after week? Consider giving us a like and subscribe. It's a small gesture, but it means a lot. Click the little button and give us a thumbs up. Support the channel by joining our Patreon. Follow our very talented panel. And for butter's sake, go to rosaliscomics.com and buy a friggin' comic already.
Thank you, generic sportscaster.
For butter's sake.
For butter's sake. Yeah, when you're writing for AI and it's like the middle of the night, for butter's sake comes up. So yeah. How's your week been, Charles?
I've been working on a video that I have coming out on Friday.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, there's a very good high production value to your videos that you spend time on.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I didn't mean to be a backward slammer.
No, it's a big gripe against my content. Take your time with all the other stuff, Charles. Just
yeah, you got the little edits. You got sometimes a change in lighting or wardrobe if it takes more than a day.
Yep.
It's really awesome. So if you want to put your link in the comments there so people can swipe on over to you.
Oh, yeah.
That would be awesome to the people that are watching.
I don't need the attention. Wait, I see now it's just a backhanded festival here.
Oh my goodness. Did you happen to see there you are, Will Screedia, youtube.com at Willie Screedia. Does that mean anything specifically? I mean, other than Willie being your name.
So the WILI, my channel used to be called Will I Like It.
Oh.
And it was more me just being neutral about things. But then I started, people don't want to hear what I think they want. It's more, what does Charles have to say? So I kept the Willie and then did a portmanteau of the word discrete media and then just smushed them all together.
I see. Yeah, that's how Filmation got their name.
Is it?
Yeah, they would do live action stuff on film, of course, like the 8mm stuff for television back in the day in the 70s. And they were doing children's television shows. And they would also do animation. So it's film and animation. And when they finally incorporated, they just settled on Filmation. They didn't like it. They thought maybe they were going to change it before they went out of business. Did not happen. They went out of business, and it was Ghostbusters that put them out of business, which is hilarious to me. Not so much, but I find that amusing because I don't know who does Ghostbusters. Is it Paramount, Universal,
Sony? The films, it's Sony.
Yeah, okay, but Sony took over a company to get into the filming market, to become a studio.
Columbia?
That's who it was. If that's what you say, Charles, I believe you. We'll be corrected in the comments.
I am not I'm not betting on that information, but I'm nearly sure.
You know what I do bet on? It's Gray Poupée.
Hey.
Always bet on Gray. Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going great. We're talking just briefly about the demise of Filmation. Was Columbia Studios swallowed up by Sony?
I'm going to say yes with a question mark. I have no idea. I'm here to learn about this.
Okay. Well, the thing about it is that the filmmakers, Ivan Reitman and whoever else was involved with the Ghostbusters movie, they wrote the movie Ghostbusters, and they liked that title, which they had seen on a Saturday morning cartoon show. It wasn't really a cartoon show. First, it was a live action Saturday morning show called The Ghostbusters. And it featured two guys that were sort of a Laurel and Hardy kind of Dean Martin and Lewis kind of act, along with a guy in a gorilla suit. And that was their shtick. Why, thank you, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Enjoy your football, a-hole. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we always miss you when you're not around, and that's because we can't shoot that far. But so the Ghostbusters was a TV show back in the 70s, Saturday morning. Football is upon us. I'll be back next week. Oh, his team's not playing next week, so that's great.
They already have a vacation after 1 week.
There's a lot of teams that got to play on a Sunday, and some of them are due on a Monday.
And Thursdays now, too.
We're going to start calling you Bill the Goon, because you're behind the Bills, the Buffalo Bills. Or maybe just Buffalo Bob. That might be good. Buffalo Bob sounds like a serial killer that hangs out with Hannibal Lecter, doesn't it?
Buffalo
I kinda like
Bob's
it.
is Bills.
It's streamlined. I like it.
Yeah. So they had the copyright and the trademark for the name, right? Ghostbusters. And Ramis, or whoever it was, that really, really insisted on having the name Ghostbusters on his film. So he went to the head honchos, and the head honchos went to Filmation, and they made a deal with points on the back end. They
Isn't that how
threw down-
real came to be? The real Ghostbusters?
yeah.
That's why they had to call the cartoon that. But yeah.
This is the entire situation at hand. They were talking to him about maybe, if this franchise is out, we'll do cartoons, we'll do this, we'll do toys, and we'll do all these things. And you're the perfect company to get into. And they bought this whole snow job, and you get points on the back end. And we will put down a deposit of $5,000. And you sign the deal. And when the movie makes money, you'll make money. Okay. So, I don't know the difference. Come on, business guys, tell me, net, gross, which one's the one you should get money on?
Gross.
Well, you should do an independent audit because their bookkeeping is not exactly the cleanest, if you will. You can make anything look like it's not profitable.
Oh, yeah.
And to this day, Ghostbusters has not made a profit, by the way, because of Hollywood accounting. And that really stuck in their craw that it was the biggest film of the year. It was the highest grossing film of the year, all this other kind of stuff. And they were like, yeah, but we really had to pay the distributors, which was themselves, a great deal of money. And there's all of this other stuff and these line items, and there's no money to be made. And so they never got another dime from them. Okay. But they still had the rights to use that as the as the thing. And they're like, well, okay, well, we'll still make the we're still going to make the cartoon, aren't we? And they're like, yeah, about that. And so while Columbia or whoever it was started sending stuff out to the Asian companies to do their animation for them at lightning speed, these Americans who had just gotten the rug pulled out from under them decided to adapt their own. Okay, so they have they have the Ghostbusters name. They can use it in the cartoons and animations and things like that. So they did that, and they made a cartoon version of their original IP with the two guys and the monkey. And
I was gonna say, I remember more animals from this cartoon, but maybe that's just me.
A janky car and everything else, and all this other stuff.
It was a lot like that race, whatever that one's called. Now I'm forgetting, but I swear there was like a bat character too.
There might have been. And then Sony comes out with the real Ghostbusters. And so that right there made people choose between the two, not realizing what kind of skullduggery and car salesman shenanigans had gone on in the background.
In Hollywood?
In Hollywood,
No.
yes.
No.
That's
You know,
unheard of.
not saying they're the first, not saying they were the last, not saying they're
Surely
that
you
that
just.
it's unknown. But yeah, and eventually that particular thing, because they were working in America, by the way, all the animators were Americans, and they were down there on Wilshire Boulevard or something like. I don't know what the street name is, but it's in Hollywood. They were actually working in California, which is very expensive
Mm.
for anybody, and
Unions.
unions and things like that. And so this whole debacle, if you will, put Filmation out of business, and they died a horrible and painful and lonely death.
Rip.
Yes, ripped from the headlines. No, you mean R.I.P. Okay, so yeah, that's what happened with that. I don't know how we got on the subject, but it was a good start.
Portmanteau. Willis Greedia.
Will Screedy, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, go follow Willie Screedia and learn more about Filmation. I'm
More
sure he's gonna dig
importantly,
into it.
hit up the Filmation social media and tell them you missed them.
Yes. Tell them you want more like the New Adventures of the Lone Ranger and Star Trek, the animated series, which they did like 23
What?
episodes of that. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
This was this was Kirk. This was Kirk, and they did ooh,
We had great ketchup.
yes, we actually
Yeah,
had
sorry
Gray
about that.
Poupée.
For some reason, I set my presets to my numbers. So, if I want to do an exclamation, all of a sudden I'm ketchup. That's my bad.
Well, if you ever fall behind, you can always catch up.
Looks like it's gone off.
A little
Great
bit.
ketchup, great ketchup stuff. But no, that's not the worst thing somebody accidentally showed on a live stream.
True.
No, I'm not heading in
my
any
cat's
direction.
up
I'm
is
not going to
okay.
limit it.
You talking about present company or
No,
just in general?
absolutely not. I will not elaborate.
So Charles wasn't watching that stream. Okay.
No. Flash in the pan. So yeah, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about All Out, the pay-per-view, what happened last night, and it's a little bit on the noteworthy side, I guess. I wanted to talk about Beetlejuice today, and how well it's doing at the box office. Maybe one of you saw it or not.
My uncle hasn't
Sadly, I
taken
did
me.
not.
No.
Yeah, my uncle's still searching for tickets, but
Hmm.
yeah, I happened to go to a wedding over the last 2 days, so I wasn't able to actually go to this lovely movie. But I hear
Well,
interesting mixed
congratulations.
reviews.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
My cousin will be proud. Yeah, just a family wedding.
Oh, you married
But
your cousin.
good time.
Cool.
We like to keep it in the family. No, I just attended my cousin's wedding. It was lovely. What can I say? They wanted to go middle of the desert in the middle of the day, and damn, it was hot.
Goodness. Why would you get married in the desert? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. Especially a destination middle of the desert wedding. It did not make sense. There were a few of us there, but it was a great ceremony.
I've learned nothing from Firefest.
If as long as
was kinda
everybody
like
came
that.
back alive, I think that's what. But yeah, and then we had some gaming news this week. As was it Sony? Yes, it was. Speaking of Sony, not Columbia Pictures Sony, but Sony Gaming. They released their big multi-platform first-person shooter game, and it did so poorly that they closed the servers down on Friday and refunded everybody their money.
That bad?
Sounds like a pretty bad opening.
Yeah. So it's called Concord, and there was a lot of
Like their jelly.
some people were shaped like jelly, I guess, or jelly bottles, jelly jars.
Great. This is your
And
opportunity to have a jelly jar.
that's the
Not
people,
the best of jars.
the people that were behind it and loved it really hated on the people that hated the game, and they basically leveled out the accusations that it was because they hated the game for specific reasons. And these reasons would be that, well, they're racist, misogynist, homophobic, toxic males who don't want anybody else to have fun.
Not to mention ableist.
Yes.
Quick question. So the only thing that I've seen on this are a couple of screenshots of some rather full-sized first-person shooter characters. Is that the main problem? Is it just that people were not as in shape as they could have been, or is it just not a good game? Like I got to be honest, I didn't follow this at all, other than thinkers.
I guess when it comes to a video game, it doesn't matter what shape you are; you can still run as fast as everybody else.
Yeah,
Concord grapes are 10 out of 10. That is true.
True.
But the game,
if you're talking about the jet, I mean, that troops snoot.
Just gonna say, damn it.
Concords are based.
Lasted just as long.
I don't know. I guess I don't understand where they fit. I mean, obviously, all over. If they're refunding everybody and shutting down the servers this quick, like everything is a failure. But
yes, the trip was fast. The landing was hard. Not everybody was satisfied with the trip. So
wings on fire.
But let's take a look at the Sony premiere trailer for it, and just kind of wish Concord a goodbye. Of course, you can't just play it straight out. You got to change a little bit, and so I've changed the music so that it's not the original music, so that we don't get any kind of a strike on that. But let's say goodbye to Concord for the week that it had. A week, if you will.
Dance to the beat of your heart. Feel the rhythm, let it start. Confidence in every stride. Love yourself, there's nothing to hide. Body positivity's the way. Let your light shine every day. We are owning who we are. We're all superstars. Mirror reflects, embrace your soul. Every curve, every feather, stand tall. You're beautifully unique in every voice. Let your truth speak. Body positivity's the way. Let your light shine every day. We are owning who we are. We're all superstars.
Rip.
Gone, but not forgotten.
I do remember seeing commercials for that now. There was like some dude eating noodles in some shop yelling at some lady. I do remember this now.
You're thinking of Nikado. Nikadu Avocado.
It wasn't in real life. It was a green guy. But interesting. I don't know. It didn't look that much worse like gameplay than a lot of the other ones. I mean,
I was going to say it felt like some sort of Fortnite looking thing.
And that's the model. That's the thing. But apparently there were. Well, I don't want to confuse my my derogatory statements, because there was a lot of derogatory statements about a few games this past week. That one, the Dustborn the previous week, and Star Wars Outlaws. The claims being, for the most part, from what I read, was the gameplay was not very well thought out, repetitive in some aspects. Some assets seemed to be stolen, although they weren't.
It's homaged. Come on, it's an homage to something else.
So
I don't know. It looked kind of cool. Like the characters were pretty customizable. It looked like you could switch to all sorts of like alien races, possibly even non-biological.
You can't really customize the characters. You can choose between those characters that they showed you, but you can't really customize them. And I think
That
that
showed
was
a
an issue. for
backward
some
knees
people.
guy. It reminded me of like The Arrival with Charlie Sheen. Like it
Holy
was pretty
smoke! Flash from the past.
crazy. I mean, when I'm thinking backwards knees, that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, it had like bird legs. It was kind of interesting. So
See,
for you to tell me they're not
backwards knees makes me
customizable,
think
that sucks.
Zextro. You ever see that movie Zextro, whatever it is, with the X at the beginning of it?
XTRO.
Yes.
I've been told to watch it. I have not. I'm very familiar with the fact that I need to see it.
Yeah, that gives me the backwards knees vibes right there. But no, a lot of people pointed out different aspects of it, and their complaints were mainly technical. But the complaint about the complaints was like, well, you're just making up stuff because you don't like big, bold black women, and that's what they get down to. Is the defenders of it aren't defending the quality of the game. They're defending aspects that haven't been brought up, and so
But people who are complaining about the game, they're not complaining about anything that's being defended. They're complaining about like play elements, right?
yes, play elements, repetitive gameplay. It's if you're gonna play Fortnite, you're gonna play Fortnite. Play Fortnite.
Right.
It's if you want to play Guardians of the Galaxy in Fortnite, then get a skin, which should be available, and do it that way. So, and then it's like, well, you just hate them because you hate fat people.
What's straw manning?
I
don't-
believe that's what it is creating an issue that isn't real.
So the people defending it seem to be coming up with defenses to arguments that aren't being made. They appear to be straw manning the opposition's argument as to why they don't like it.
Yes.
Giving up an easily knockdownable explanation.
What's the difference between straw manning and gaslighting?
They're similar. One's a little bit more physical. One's a little bit more ethereal.
Okay.
But essentially, you make the person believe that what they're seeing is incorrect. Like it classically comes from they kept lowering the light on the gas light to make the lady think that she was going insane, like her husband or whatever. Where straw manning is just I build a fake version of your argument so that I can easily knock it down.
Oh.
Essentially, you're saying you don't like the gameplay, and it's like, yeah, because you don't like playing as fat people. Like, how dare you be so, body discrimination-ish.
Yeah.
However you want to say that. Something along those lines. They're similar. They're like cousins, I'd say.
Is the opposite of body positive, body negative?
Body realistic. I don't know. Not everybody deserves to be celebrated.
If you wanted to be realistic in a game, then every third athletic person in a video game would just die of a heart attack.
It's the juice.
This is politics on this show. You can just go down some strange doors.
Wrestling games where you die at 40.
Yeah, there you go. And every move you make is a violent move. You got to do some sort of move, and you just wind up killing people. Oh, but wait a minute. We're talking about gaming news, aren't we? I should have done this ahead of time.
Blowing up cartridges, dancing all night with my retro games. Everything feels right. The Coleco sitting in the past. This game collection's big.
See, it looks like something. It's unfortunate that other things get into the discussion because unless it's like technically unplayable, it looks like something that people should at least try. It doesn't look abysmal by the sight test, but I have no experience with it. Just based on that video, I can't say it's visually just awful looking. So,
the thing is that you have a game that is going to be massive. I don't even know what the wording is because I'm not that big into newer games.
AAA, is that what?
Yeah, AAA game is supposed to be like the best, and then you have this massive servers where people
Oh,
play together and things like that.
yeah, they have
And
to pay to keep those open, right? That makes a
yeah,
little bit of sense.
when you have like when you start off really really strong with a few thousand people, that's not really strong, and then you come down within a few days to like 85.
Hey, dozens of people are enjoying that game.
At that point, Sony's like, you know what? We got to pull the plug on this.
Yeah.
We just we can't afford this game anymore.
That's exclusively online too, that game?
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that's something where this is where being a explicitly online game kind of bites them in the ass.
Well, the only people that bites in the ass is the people that spent money on it because they were all, you get to the situation where it's like, I'm going to buy this game to play it.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy this game to support it. I'm actually going to go online. And there were 85 people that did it. And Sony turned around and said, yeah, on second thought, no, you're not. Not only are we shutting down the game, but nothing about it is going to be playable, and we're going to give you your money back. So no, purchases are not final anymore.
Oh, don't get me started on that junk.
It's everything is a service these days. Everything is rented, and you don't own anything, and you're happy with it.
Physical copies, always physical copies.
Yes,
Always.
say yes to the dress. Gray.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was still muted. Yes to the dress. Yes, we'll say yes. Physically, copy of the dress is good.
Copy of the dress is good. Yes. Go out, purchase your prom dress, take it home, have your Aunt Sarah copy it, and then take it back.
Just make sure you get the stains out.
Let me see if you got the copy. You've got your stunt dress. But it made me curious about. It made me curious about the actual scores that people have and the metrics, Metacritic. I don't know how to check how many people are playing the game.
That's a good question. I know on Steam you can check like how many people are simultaneously playing, and they do have kind of like a bit of a backlog, so you can see like over the last few months how many. But I don't know. Video game criticism is a little bit outside of my Venn diagram, if you will.
Yeah,
I
I'm
gotta think that
ill-advised.
there's so much footage out there of these games that people are actually playing the games, okay? And they're recording the games because they're making content. And you got to think maybe there's a situation where the content creators are making more money off of the content they create than the game that they're creating the content with. And it becomes a backwards situation. A lot of people were streaming up until the moment that the servers were turned off, and that was their goal, was to be live when it went unlive. And they'd be playing the game, and then all of a sudden, boop, something went wrong. Yeah, you get that little notice on the screen. But let's take a look at the game. The criticisms for Final Fantasy 5, 6, 7 Rebirth. I'm not the only one who struggles with that. Nobody's familiar.
Or Vi.
Yes. 511. What's the 511 on this? So the best, the highest praise comes from Dextro or Dexerto.
Extro again.
Yes. This is Game of the Year material, an exceptional follow-up to a revered first entry. I don't know if they used AI to speak this out. It handles the beloved material with care while still establishing its own new voice, making for a stellar sequel. If I hadn't blown that, you would have thought I was AI. This is Game of the Year material and an exceptional follow-up to a revered first entry.
Wait.
It handles the... it just repeats, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Well, that sucks.
that's odd.
Lacerdo, do better.
Wow.
Axe Heron 03 says a commercial disaster and an incomplete Final Fantasy. It's ridiculous to see the blindness of people when they are talking about this mess of Final Fantasy 7. Hell, look, he put the actual number. Reba. Basically, a Ubisoft game with the Final Fantasy 7 skin and a ton of filler, useless crap, and all over the places. This is what a cold reading sounds like, folks. Pacing and a cringe narrative ruins again one of the classics of genre. Just to play this guy. Please, this cringy casual players. Now I know what it feels like when people try to read my writing. In my humble opinion, while the alarm goes off, the biggest disappointment of 2020, how many 20s am I going to say? So far, so don't get baited by fanboys. Now, he brings up an interesting point. Fanboys be fanning and spreading the Kool-Aid.
Well, in his defense, he did say so far, so he's leaving the door open that there could be worse games, but fair enough.
Yes, but those that love something are going to praise it to high heaven, and those that hate something are going to hate on it to hell. If I don't know if there's another one like that.
I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to rating things, and if I look at a movie or something, and if there's a lot of 5s and 1s, I just discount them because I'm sorry, the game would have to be completely unplayable for it to be ranked a 1 out of 100. Like, that's silly.
Yes, and this is the game of the year, and being the game of the year, it's good. It's not like subjectively; it's objectively good because of its rating. So, that being said, we're gonna take a look at some of these games and what people subjectively said about them, and see what holds water. Now, Concord again. It released this week. It died this week. Released on August 23rd and died on Friday, September the 6th.
But even there, it gets a 1.8. It's not getting like just a 1 or whatever. Like that seems a little bit more honest than just, what's the lowest I can give it? Either a 1 or whatever. 1.8. Okay.
Yeah, some people don't realize they can give it a 0, I guess. But Jukes video? Good gosh. I don't want to get political again.
Yeah, there's a couple ways I can see pronouncing that, and neither of them are good. So we'll go with what you said.
Well, just call him Jux.
Oh, no. Pop's got no link. We could hook up Pops.
Oh, let's do that. Talk amongst yourself about Jew.
Could it be
Jux?
Jeus? Oh, wait, that would be.
I'm going to go with that. Jeus video. Just kind of sound like you're kind of like hiding a burp or something while you're saying it. It'll be great.
Trying to say that.
Yeah. So you think that makes you a snob? The fact that you don't like it when people are giving basically like 1s or 5s? I don't know. Like, doesn't that make it more that you actually have some sort of like standard for that scale? It's not just like, I hate it 1, I love it 5.
Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
No, I would assume that maybe there's a few people that think it's a 5 out of 5 or a 0 out of 5, but too many. When the score is just like you could see it on the graph, it's just like is that bad faith, Gray? When somebody's just doing a score because they like hate a movement or something, or they're just supporting something.
Kind of hard to tell. Okay. It seems like it would border on it, but again, you can never kind of tell somebody's intentionality. So it's hard to be certain, but it does not seem like they're truly taking criticism seriously if they're just giving 1s and 5s, like hate it, love it, hate it, love it. I don't know. It seems like there should be some nuance to the criticism, but maybe that's not what people want.
I believe the critic on this website probably was skewing more positive than he actually felt
Hmm.
to undo what was being
counteract,
done.
yeah.
Yes, and that really, if it doesn't look like a solid bell curve, then it's probably not. And you've got just people pumping it up to discount people that are hating on it just to hate on it. So, and I believe there are people that hated this game just to hate on it. Concord
Hmm.
could have, there's a lot of criticism out there that things don't last long enough to find their footing. And there was no time for DLCs. There was no time for updates. There was no time for anything. It's just 2 weeks and then, it's out. It's gone. Bye-bye. We're not spending any more money on it because we spent, like $250 million on it in the first place. And we
I'm
paid
assuming
all
they're
of-
not like retooling to relaunch it. It's just gone now. Just if you were there that week, you were one of those 85 people. You're
refunded the
good,
money.
but-
We're refunding the money.
Alright.
Maybe they
And
start
this
from
guy
scratch, maybe?
says, let's welcome Pops real quick.
Hey,
Good
Pops.
morning,
Hey,
sir.
Pops.
I apologize for missing you on the link this morning. Oh, you're muted. You're muted, buddy.
No, I'm not. What's up with you? I'm not muted.
You're not now. Now we can hear.
Let me say, I was just talking too soft.
I see. Yes.
It's all action, man. No, I
Pops
was
is experimenting with mumblecore.
there. It's actually hard to work with.
So I knew a guy who thought Eon Flux, the movie, when the movie came out, he thought it was a French title. Thought it was an imported movie and called it On Flu. But enough about Juck's video.
I actually like that show or that the anime that was on Liquid Television or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was meant for
Late
your
night
eyes
MTV.
only.
It was good stuff.
Let's see. Nico says, not everyone is a proper critic, and maybe review aggregation exists to account for not just nuance, but off the cuff responses from normies.
Yeah. I'm just being a crybaby about things because I can't stand when the discussion becomes, oh, this has a -5 on this, and this has a 1,000. And it's like, yeah, all right, take away the people who are just being content ring. And like, if you're going to talk about something performing poorly, explain why, and don't go to the scores are bad. When it's, if the score is like a 72 or something, it's one thing. But if the first thing you go to is look at all these zeros and tens, I feel like you've gone into the discussion with a little bit of a slant.
The Metascore on Concord was 62, while the user score, apparently from users, was 1.8. And so there's a dramatic, a dramatic difference between the two. And I'm going to have to assume, and of course, you know what happens when you assume, right? You make an ass out of you and me. I'm going to have to assume that maybe these critics were being disingenuous because the game is dead already.
But
Hmm.
yes. What is it about? Has anybody played the game? What is it about the game that just...
All right, I come in late. What game are you talking about?
It's called Concord. It has more full-figured characters, and it's more inclusional as far as fighting games go. But within a week, it's they refunded everybody and shut down the servers. So yeah, it didn't go so well.
Yeah.
Go woke, go broke. Oh, did I say that out?
See, and that's what this guy is trying to fight against, is people who think on that way or talk that way at the risk of disappointing its detractors. Pops, Concord is a very good hero shooter that could very well overshadow the big games in the genre. I think that's a false claim. it's not overshadowing anything. If a community of players takes it that far, oh, so it's up to the people, not the makers of the
We
game.
failed the game.
said-
The game did
You
not
could say
fail
that about
us.
anything, can't you?
Well, if
Firewalk
the
service
audience
game.
is willing to take it that far.
Yes,
Yeah, I
if
mean-
the audience is there, that's a that it reminds me of mentalisms and mentalists who work with people that they're all hacks, by the way. None of that's real.
What's up,
You're
Brian?
throwing away money. You might as well be playing the lottery. Anyway, Firewalk Service game is based on solid arguments, great shooting sensations, 16 varied and perfectly oiled heroes. Okay, so there's 16 characters that you
Why do they have to
cannot.
be all oiled up?
Well, there's a lot of mechanics going on, but
Ooh, the well-oiled mechanics. Nice.
well, no, the mechanics
I
are
guess
not
it makes
well-oiled.
sense.
16 varied, but you can't change the characters. You got your choice
Mhm.
between 16, and some of them are fat, I guess.
That sucks. It looked really customizable, but I guess it's just those 16 characters that it was showing us in that trailer. Because I would have thought you could make whatever character you want. That sounds pretty awesome. But
Impeccable technique
go that
and
way.
artistic direction, and even attractive tactical perspectives. And now he's just throwing words together. I'm not sure I understand exactly what he's saying. As it stands, we just regret overly classic game modes, as well as a universe that would have deserved a more important place within the experience. 2 points
Those were
that
words.
are, yes, more words. 2 points that are not set in stone and that will most certainly improve with future updates. Sorry. All free. There's no season pass or battle pass. Let us remind you.
Hmm.
I don't think we need reminding that there's no season pass or battle pass. A very good choice. We loved it. So
well, they didn't have to refund season passes, so
That's
They
got that going for 'em.
well,
now the Jimquisition, who's also a critic, not a user. I stayed away from user reviews on this one. To say there's a lot to hate about Concord implies that it has a lot of anything. While not strictly skeletal in content, it nonetheless offers little of note in a market that's already saturated with similar games, all vying to dominate the finite time of their players. Sony's delivered the perfect picture of a game nobody was asking for, an impeccable example of the nonsensical product. Even if I didn't hate it, I sure as hell wouldn't find enough to love. Now, that
That's pretty
says
fair.
nothing about the character sizes or colors,
Yeah.
but it does talk about the game itself
Right.
specifically. And so this was one of 4 negative reviews from a critic. So good on the Jimquisition to being what somebody, if somebody would call this person a shill, a paid shill, and that's a derogatory term, I think, to somebody who may be speaking their opinion. And if this is their opinion, great on you. If that's how you really feel about the game, I'm sad for you right now because the game is gone.
Hmm.
But if you're blowing smoke up my butt, then maybe not so much. Maybe haha. But no, I'm here for you no matter what your position is. Either so sorry, so sad, wish it could have worked out for you, or haha. So Outlaws is another
Woo!
game that
Charles's
has
favorite game.
garnered the same sorts of criticism.
I'm familiar. No, I'm really not.
You're familiar?
You could watch me play it for an hour and a half and struggle with my broken controller.
Was it your broken controller,
Perhaps
or was it
it
the
wa-
broken
This
game?
game broke his controller, is the rumor. I don't know anything about that.
I must be fair. My controller has a constant going up issue, so I can't properly say anything about this game.
That's been the complaint since day one in 1975. Even though there was only a joystick and one button. Pops, you remember? It wasn't me. It was the controller. The controller is wonky. It's always been wonky. And then when there was upgrades, you had Nintendo Thumb, you know. And then when
my
you
friend
had
gave me the shitty controller.
yes,
That just hurt. That just hurt when you
yeah,
said
Nintendo Thumb, and it's stick drift. There you go. Bry's got it.
Come on.
It's stick drift. Yes,
It was
that's
Use
what
the
she
correct
said.
terms. Come on, Charles. Your
Apologies.
Charles,
stick is drifting.
sometimes I think Charles is the only one who hears what I say. It's a nightmare.
We ignore it. We hear
Oh,
it.
thank you for that. Thank you for that. I love the acknowledgement of that. But yeah, Charles, tell us more of this game of which you speak.
It's fine. I can't really properly discuss certain elements of it. I cannot talk about gameplay because I don't have a certain element of gameplay to my disposal.
Well, let's cover the elephant in the room. Let's get subjective here. Were the women ugly?
No, it's.
Did you make them any prettier?
I don't think you can make them. I think your choice is like a rugged Han Solo type female who's got a little pet with her, and if you've seen the original Star Wars, it's basically all the people that hang out in the bar. It's a bunch of different. What?
Stop cringing while you say it. Just say it.
Yeah, you do seem to be cringing a little bit when you talk about the characters.
Well, my issue with it is it just doesn't wow you. Like the first hour,
it's kind of plain.
Yeah, it feels like some sort of weird hybrid between Grand Theft Auto and Uncharted, but 10 years too late, but Star Wars, and
you're
yeah,
still cringing, bro.
yeah,
That actually makes a lot of sense, though. I mean, if you're going
game.
to be a rebel fighting the Empire, that makes you essentially, in legal terms, in this scenario, the villain. You're the bad guy, according to the law, legal sense of the law. So
there's some moral issues in the game.
So you could actually do a sort of Grand Theft Auto in the Star Wars universe, where you're because Han was a pirate. They were smuggling things. They were shipping things back and forth.
There's pickpocketing missions in this too.
Well, there you go.
And your mother taught you how to do it. Good wholesome.
But I hear the sneaking mechanics don't work so well.
Right. I experienced that, but I don't know how much of it is a user issue. Yeah.
Grand Theft Uncharted.
Yeah.
So, there's some actual complaints that you can have with the gameplay itself. There are issues with the game mechanic. It's like, and I've said this before, and I think it's true. A lot of these games are being delivered before they're complete.
Yes.
And so there's plenty to there's plenty to complain about. But however, those that are defending the game are not defending the poor gameplay, the bad design, the mechanics that seem to be failing. They're not defending any of that. They're defending ugly women, which doesn't really seems to be one of your complaints if you're actually playing the game. I have not played the game, but I dare say that anybody who complains about the ugly women have not played the game either. They're just looking at screenshots and going, "Ugh, look at that."
My issue is I've played it for an hour and a half, and I haven't been drawn to play it again. Like, it's not like, ooh, let me get back to that awesome game. That's something that, if I go another month without playing it, I don't know if I'll be devastated about that, which is kind of bad if you ask me.
Well, you already said it didn't have the wow factor, and obviously,
Yeah.
Pestle, we are going to be covering the pay-per-view in just a little bit, but yes, there was a lot of the women's matches. There's some blood. There was some blood in the matches.
That time in the month.
No, not that kind. It's that time of the month. Pay-per-view time, that is.
we need your
Nathan
help.
Drake, the free-running pirate hitman. So, yeah, let's take a look real quick again at this and see what they have to say about Outlaws. Digital chimps. I got to make it bigger.
Chumps.
Chumps, digital chumps.
Sure. Star Wars Outlaws is definitely the kind of treasure that would be coveted by the seedy underbelly of the most notorious in the galaxy far, far away, by placing its narrative in a familiar timeline, but making it distinct from much of the tired Skywalker saga. Massive Entertainment has created a rich Star Wars property with plenty of room to build off of. Vibrant worlds of opportunity, choice-based story beats, and key action set pieces will keep players engaged throughout and hopefully find a new scoundrel to admire with Cave S.
Yeah, that
And-
sounds like in the film community, I would say that critic is trying to get pull quoted. When you get a little too creative with your narrative of your review, it seems like you're doing something for someone special.
You don't think they're authentically talking about vibrant worlds full of opportunity, choice-based story beats, and key action set pieces?
I mean, it's definitely the kind of treasure that would be coveted in the seedy underbelly. Ooh.
Yes, I think it is about $70, Bri. However, to be fair, in California, that's about the cost of a cheese 12-inch pizza.
12-inch.
Not a hopeful comparison.
I'm being facetious, I guess. But yeah, he's blowing smoke and he's very low behind us. The
But
digital
Cave
shop.
S, though, did they really have to name the character Cave S? I feel like there's a better name out there.
Caveman?
So now this is a user review. Okay. They
Ooh,
stepped away
I
from
take
that.
them serious. They went with 0.
This game failed to meet my expectations on so many levels, and I had low expectations to begin with. It feels nothing like Star Wars universe, but I'm not surprised. The game felt sluggish. The action was basically a carbon copy of Red Dead.
Redemption
Really?
2?
Thank you. And the worlds are overly dense. I ended up quitting after nearly 3 hours of gameplay when I fell off
3
a
times as
ledge
much as you, Charles.
and got stuck
Double.
in a mid-air glitch. Also, no lightsabers or force powers,
Aw.
no character customization, and cheesy dialogue. I guess I'll just continue to wait for KOTOR 3
Knights of the Old Republic.
For another,
for another 15 years.
See, I don't know how you
Oh.
can compare it to Red Dead 2 and also say that it's dense. Because Red Dead 2 is awfully sparse.
Well, it's there's a lot of space between towns.
And they're very dense.
Okay, so he's talking out of both sides of his mouth, I guess,
Yeah.
then. But I guess if you do get stuck in a mid-air glitch, that would... I wonder if he hung there for 2.5 hours.
2 hours and 59 minutes, to be exact.
So yeah, some people are happy about it, some people are not happy about it. But at least in this one, they did stick to actual gameplay in their review. And although they were flawed comparisons, true comparisons to other games on how the game is not good. He must not have liked Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, that's an interesting comparison.
Yeah, but wasn't that
And-
a long time ago too?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago, right?
So, he just up and bought a game after 70 years. And
Okay, but
was
in Red
disappointed.
Dead, you didn't have a pet, so it's completely different. It's apples
Preach.
and oranges here.
Preach.
Yes. It looks like kind of a salamander thing, doesn't it?
It's
Yeah, it got kind of like an axolotl feel
Axolotl.
to it.
I don't know what the hell that word is you just said, but sure.
Axolotl.
You
Oh,
know,
they're awesome. You'd recognize them. They're on the
Ask Siri.
come up right now.
Don't ask Siri; she'll tell you to vote for Kamala.
I still trade
Yes.
games at CEX Old School.
I think it's pronounced sex too, which is hysterical.
Oh, that's awesome. Man, I've got some games to trade. You did your horse? Is that what happened in the Red Dead? All I heard about was the bear.
Oh,
That's a part from another pet.
oh.
I'm just saying, your horse, it's like your confidant. It's not a pet. It's beyond that.
Yeah, see, it's the score that bothers me. I don't think it's a 0. But otherwise, that's pretty closer to real than the other one they just showed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either of them are playing fair. I don't think that
Yeah.
Digital Chumps is. I think they're trying to make up for people like Crier Rivers. Crier Rivers, social justice warrior. Yeah.
Oh,
You see, you give them a target like that. You should have just said Craig. And then we have Dustborn, okay, which has another Metacritic of about 68. However, the users got a 1.1, which surprises me that they got the 0.1.
I
Nico
do
says my
like the
pets are
illustrative style of this one. It looks a little different, like just the way that they're presenting it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Didn't go over so well. I'm seeing that 1.1. That doesn't bode well.
You know, this drew a lot of controversy because of how it was funded and what goes on in there, and the fact that you can actually be triggered, and it says triggered as an option. That's one of your reactions. You can, like the conversation choices come up in the middle of a conversation, and you can do this, and that, or you can get triggered. And if you click triggered, you call the people that you're speaking to racists. So that's an element of the gameplay, is to be offended. And people who are offended walking around with studded baseball bats, well, in my neighborhood, they call them Antifa. But
Do you get to choose to be offended, or is there like a
Yes.
meter of offense that builds
No.
up over time?
I don't know if, you know what, that's interesting. I don't know. I've never played this game. But you see, the Metacritics, you had 21 critics that gave it a 68, and then 373 user ratings, which I don't believe all of those are real, because I don't think there's 373 people actually playing it. So let's see what Shaq News says. It's rare for a game to be about something, to work its themes into every fiber of its being, to ask us to think about the worlds around us and reflect on who we are, the world we live in, and the things we've done to make it what it is.
That is a
Dustborn does
long sentence.
just
There's
that.
like 5 commas.
Yes, that's called a run-on sentence, I believe. At
Sorry
least
for
they've got
interrupting. This
no,
is
that's okay.
amazing review reading.
They got the
if you
capitals
will.
at the right spots, so that's good, though. Dustborn does that, and it's special because of it. It doesn't always work. At 80%, it doesn't always work. But what it gets wrong pales in comparison to what it does right. It's a reminder that what we say and do matters. That, to quote Hemingway,
As we all often do in our video game reviews.
do I got to change voices if I'm quoting Hemingway?
I would.
Hemingway? I'll just do a Kennedy. The world is a fine place and worth fighting for.
it's really good.
that a better world is possible if only we have the courage to build it, if we can find the right words to speak it into existence. Let there be light. You're racist. Sorry, that's the word you speak if you hit the button. We'll just say game-breaking glitches shouldn't be a thing anymore. This is true, Bri. This is very, very true. Poe's Law. What is Poe's Law? I'm uninformed. I'm ill-informed. Somebody told me what Poe's Law is. Pops, do you know what Poe's Law is?
I'll pass.
Gray? If you're not dealing with the dogs, can you
I
tell us what
apologize,
Poe's Law?
dogs are barking, but the idea is you parody something to the extreme, and it's now being mistaken for the real thing.
Oh, yeah, like the election. So where were we? Oh, yeah. So let's see what 80%. 80%. Look at that. Another 0 from a user. It's both incredible and disturbing that there's a game that encourages toxicity and racism through harmful social mechanics like canceling and bullying. Playing it feels like I am tainting my soul, he said, taint. Unlike the 2006 game Bully, which, despite featuring acts of bullying, ultimately tells a story against bullying, Dustborn seems to take pleasure in spreading misery and promoting a disregard for social and moral values. So this guy basically talks about the mechanics of the game, I assume. And this is the gameplay of it.
The social mechanics.
Yes. You're driving across the country of America. And you're meeting people, and then you're calling them racist, and then eventually getting into some fights, I think, is what.
And causing offense.
Causing
I
offense.
feel like maybe you guys are not taking the Brood Emperor's review seriously.
Wait,
It
isn't
is
that
an emperor.
that's the synopsis for Over the Top, isn't it?
I'm not taking either of these reviews seriously, to be honest. And that comes back to Charles's point, is that people are being disingenuous when they rate these games, and you can't really take the ratings seriously.
Yep.
And then you have Squirrel with a Gun, which is
It's got to be 100, man. It's got to be. Come on.
it's 6.5 out of 10. Okay, so it's not like the Metascore. The user scores is out of 10.
Oh, it's got to
And
be a
the
10. Just the name gives it a 10. Come on.
yeah, Squirrel with a Gun. You know, it's
Can't be bad. It can't
made
be.
by the Russians. Squirrel with a Gun. At the time of me looking at this, there were no negative critic scores for Squirrel with a Gun. Okay, there were absolutely none. There were a few, as you can see, based on 6 user scores. There's probably 2 for user scores that didn't like it. It's like, I paid for this and I didn't like it. But Cog Connected, ooh, my son is happy. Cog
Woo.
Connected says this. Puzzle platformers are nothing new, but Squirrel with a Gun's sandbox approach and jumping shooting mechanics help it transcend the absurdist title. The game squirrels away a lot of fun and engaging gameplay that will surprise players not expecting the game's variety and depth. All I know is I'll never look at our neighborhood squirrels quite the same again. So here he praises taking something that's been done before, puzzle platformers, and adding different mechanics to it, like the sandbox mode, I guess, and adding other elements to it. And that's what a good game should be. I mean, if you're going to do something that somebody else has done, you should put a different spin on it, right or wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like, why copy somebody exactly? Like, at least put your spin on it if you're going to copy them. It seems fair.
Bring something new to a table, like not just a squirrel, but add a gun.
Why not a rocket launcher?
I bet there's one in there. So this was a middling one from the critics, not a bad review because there wasn't one at the time. Squirrel with a Gun has a janky charm. from its crazy attack animations to occasionally ridiculous physics-based challenges. The concept of a platformer where the player character is so tiny that their gun is used to propel them into the air is a clever one that I wish was used in a more enjoyable game. Now, doesn't this sound like some of the other 90% reviews for some of the other games? However, despite some occasionally fun challenges and crazy cutscenes, Squirrel with a Gun feels overstretched across its roughly 8-hour play time. Charles, this isn't for you. 8 hours of playtime. With an overall lack of technical polish that goes beyond funny and becomes frustrating to play. It isn't bad overall. It certainly has its fun.
Is this dude on a fucking seesaw or what? Yeah,
He seems to be sitting on the fence.
No, he's jumping back and forth over the damn thing. It's good, it's bad. It's good, it's bad. Come on, man.
It at least seems like a real review. Like he's mentioning some real aspects that he likes, aspects that he doesn't, not just like this is the worst ever. It's like I don't know. I think you found a pretty good one.
Nico says, to be honest, Dustborn gameplay looks like boomers funding a game about whatever they think kids like these days and making it cringe and unnuanced, like the school's PSAs about not doing drugs. You're halfway right there because Dustborn was partially government funded by the Norwegian government and the United States government, which means that they'd had to reach certain criteria in their project in order to qualify for quote unquote grants.
Which USA government? This one or the last one?
Yes.
Because they're entirely different.
I don't know when they got their money, so I couldn't tell you which one it was. But yeah, they got some money from that. So private taxpayer money went into recruiting Antifa. So yeah. What do you think out there? Do you think the scores and the ratings for these games are over the top, or are they dead on, or are angry people just fighting each other in the comments and ruining it for everybody else? Let us know in the comments below. And
I'm gonna say part of it is people trying to sell when they pay somebody to go out there and give them a good review, and then part of it is smaller corporate espionage or sabotage where they're sending somebody out there to give a really bad review. How many of these people actually bought the game and played it? How many of them actually even exist? It's the internet, yo.
I know one person who bought a game and played it. I think it was Charles. Charles, did you actually pay for the game, or was it a gift for your submitted for your approval?
It was actually gifted.
My bad.
Gifted. Yes.
Oh, congratulations. Happy birthday.
He has awesome fans and people who care about him. So yeah, people actually won't give him the game just to watch him play it. That's pretty awesome. This is not the first one he got that way.
Well, I mean, if he goes out and plays it online, I totally understand. Somebody gift him the game so that he'll go out and do it and play it. People can see. Yeah. I mean, people that do that with us with tabletop games and stuff. They send them to us. We play them online. We show everybody. If it can be played online together, we do it that way. Otherwise, we do a demo or a review or. I mean, that's part of it. Hell yeah. People should, if they want promotion, if they want people to go out there and tell other people whether or not their product is worth buying,
they
should probably give it to some people.
It's a shame because
go ahead, please. Please, you were saying.
It's a shame. It feels like work. If I'm not having a good time, I'm what you would call a normie. If I don't like something, I don't play it. And for it to be something where like I'm kind of obliged to create the content, it becomes like a chore. And I feel bad because I'm sure somebody out there would want to play it.
Well, I
might have a good time.
I do kind of feel like you owe them at least a second hour.
Yeah. Yeah, my control. I'm getting a new controller. Whenever I get that, I'm back to work.
That's
Oh.
kind of why we do the demos, though. We give people the chance to look at it and see if they would like it. And
Yeah.
I'm not a review guy. You guys know that. I don't go out and I don't do reviews because I run from the other side of the game. I'm a promoter. I can't go out there 6 months after I promoted something and tear it down.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? It's like I can't play both sides of the fence like that. So
No, but you can be realistic about something that you put out there.
if I did it and I don't like it, I probably won't be promoting number 2.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? But I try to help these people that are coming out and doing first time stuff, comics, whatever, you know. And yeah, they got to produce a good product for me to be able to go out there and say, hey, number 1 was awesome. Here comes number 2, right? You got to be able to do that. But you can tell by whether or not I'm promoting the next one, whether I liked the first one a lot or how hard I'm working on the next one. You know what I mean? If it was good, hell yeah, I'm in your face about it. And I'm telling you, get the next one. It was good. But that's kind of my review. If I liked it, you'll know. You'll know by how much I'm telling people to get it or get the next one. You know.
Yeah, you gotta root for people who are doing something that you believe in.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, for me, it's fun. Okay, now the work. Hey, if I end up in the position where I'm out here and interviewing somebody that I don't have a lot in common with or whatever, I got to try and find that common ground and make that interview work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just that's part of the game. It is work. It is work. You know, I mean, damn.
Well, if you don't get paid for it, does it really work?
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. As a matter of fact, if you're not getting paid, it's more than work.
It's a hobby. Kind of like my garden. Those vegetables cost more if you grow them at home than if you buy them at the store. Yes. Because, you know, your water bills go up and then you've got to go out and you got to buy the fertilizers and the things and you got to take care of them. And
we got a well.
You know, well.
Boony living is good for growing. You know, you can grow some good stuff.
Growing what?
Well, he's growing good stuff.
Everything,
He just said.
You know, but veggies. I'm talking about veggies.
Sure.
It's
probably a plant. That makes sense.
Grow your jalapenos right next to your habaneros.
All right. Now, what do you mean by growing is based? I don't think I still understand what based is.
It's when you're going against the grain. Everybody, you know, come buy the stuff at the store. It's good for you. No, it's not. It's horrible for you.
No, it's just
Better
cheaper.
than shrinking.
It's cheaper to go to the grocery store, and it comes from Guatemala, so you know it's safe.
Yeah, and it tastes horrible. There's hardly any flavor there, but homegrown, that's where the flavor is. That's what makes it based.
There's a ban on importing chicken from China. At least there used to be a ban on that. It's still in place. However, the government did relax its rules on that. So now it's possible for American companies to ship their very own chickens to China to be processed and then sent back.
You know how much sense that makes? Let's give the enemy our food supply. Let's give them the enemy the control of all of our medications. Let's give the enemy control of the chips that are going into our military hardware. We are the stupidest fucking country on earth.
Yeah, my point is that they're sending back what they were sent.
Yeah.
Wink,
and who
wink.
knows what they're going to do. Here's some bird flu for you.
There was a ban during the before time. There was a ban on honey from China, and so we stopped buying honey from China. However, the countries that we were buying honey from were getting their supplies from China because they weren't making enough. As a matter of fact, China shipped so much honey that it surpassed its annual yield of honey, which is why we stopped buying from China.
Probably why they're trying to kill the bees too, right? Oh, China's winning the honey war.
No, what I'm saying is that it wasn't honey coming from China.
Yeah.
It wasn't honey. It was labeled honey, but it wasn't honey.
I mean, a lot of the things in our grocery stores are labeled honey or like pancake syrup or whatever. I don't know. All of it's just high fructose. I'm not sure.
Corn syrup.
I'm not sure what I see at the store is that different.
A whole bunch of it's fake.
Funny. Okay, so that's enough about that. Importing and exporting and bad quality things. I think we segued out of video games. So that's it for gaming news.
Blowing up cartridges, dancing all night with my retro games. Everything feels right.
Went a little too soon. I was supposed to show you guys this. Oh, I changed the music and sound effects on this so that I would not be infringing on anybody's copywriting. And what do they call that when you evolve something to something else?
Transformative?
Yes, it's more transformative than it would have been if I just played the trailer for Minecraft. So, we're being a little bit transformative here.
Your transformation has me transfixed. I'm into this. I'm interested.
I ain't trans nothing. Oh, go ahead.
I transitioned another. Here we go. And I lose my place, so I can't make the quick shift right there. Oh boy.
What the hell?
Anything you can dream about here, you can make.
Who are you?
I am Steve. Okay.
This guy is such a tool bag.
I mean, the fact that they had April as a little Minecraft logo, yeah, that was creative. Wow. I had kind of heard from Charles's co-host on his lovely show that this trailer kind of had him a bit disturbed. I hadn't checked it out yet, but wow. It's not making me want to see this.
No.
I do feel like I've seen this so many times, but I don't know. Jack Black is Steve. I guess I wasn't expecting that.
No. We got exactly what I was expecting, which was Jack Black as Jack Black, named Steve. And,
We actually have a Facebook group called Steve Says. No background story. The group came into fruition because there was this guy that was in the audience while some astronauts were talking. And the astronauts were talking about being on the moon or talking about something. And the dude said, can you see? He stood up and he asked the astronauts, can you see the wall of China from the moon? And the dude said, no. And the guy said, well, my friend Steve said. That's all.
Nico pointed out how surreal that experience was with your AI song in there. And yeah, I got to be honest, it was a bit surreal, but I don't know with their real song in there that would have seemed less
well, it was
surreal.
Magical Mystery Tour, all sampled to hell. And with Jack Black screaming, step right this way.
Oh, that made it even worse. That makes it even worse. Thank you for changing the music because
Well, you know what? I can't afford a Beatles license.
I'm
Few of
just
us
saying
can.
that just
We're not Apple.
License to play the Beatles music.
the thought
Does
of
Apple
that.
have it now? Because I thought the Jacksons were still making money off the
Jackson
Beatles.
Estate.
Yes, the
Did
Jacksons.
Paul McCartney re-inherit it?
No, he wanted it back, but they wouldn't sell it to him.
Oh,
Fair enough. I just know Apple tends to have kind of the bougiest music in their things because of their the collection of their music library, which is kind of fun. But yeah, that is interesting that they would have to do Magical Mystery Tour for this one. But
Well, they didn't
fair enough.
have to.
If they're busting out Beatles for the trailer, like they're spending some bank on this thing. Wow.
I always got to wonder exactly what's going on with this and who their intended target audience was. And my youngest son, he looked at that and called it Ohio, which, according to the
He's saying skibbity, huh?
yes, it's very skibbity Ohio, and the anti-Rizzler and all this other stuff, which the Urban Dictionary says that he's displeased with it. So. But my 15-year-old, on the other hand, like, yeah, I'll watch that. So there's they didn't get the 12, but they got the 15, and they haven't gotten anybody else older than that. So, but I guess.
But it is Jared Hess directing. I gotta be honest, I'm a fan of a lot of his work. So he did Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre, a few things since then, like that TV show Son of Zorn and Last Man on Earth. There's some kind of fun things that this guy has been involved in. I don't know. I would not have thought that's the same dude when I was told Minecraft movie. I wouldn't have thought, yeah, Napoleon Dynamite. Like that's definitely the same guy. But I don't know. I'm a little bit more interested now than the trailer made me.
Yeah.
No, I hope he adds some of his comedy to it because I didn't get it from the trailer.
He said they need to redo it like Sonic. So he was not happy with the way that it looked. So he said, yeah, they need to redo it like Sonic. They've got time. He knew it was coming out in April. So, yeah, that's my son.
I'm just going to say it hurt. And if you'd have played the real music, it probably would have hurt more.
Yeah. Cringe is a word that I would favor in describing what was there. And I added also the Hanna-Barbera sound effects to enhance that a little bit. But
definitely not something I'm lining up for now.
Got that.
Not something I'm going to go, hey, kids, you want to go see this? It's like, because I just don't get it. I don't get it. Why does everything have to be weird?
Who's the guy I'm thinking of? Bruce.
I mean, I'm almost embarrassed for Jason. Almost.
You're almost embarrassed for Jason. Well, his hair reminded me of somebody.
And the jacket and the whole, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed for Jason a little bit. Not too much, a little bit.
He's a real actor.
Be embarrassed.
He's a real actor. And the real actors are the ones that are willing to get dirty for the business and work towards the product and take on any role and do anything. You normally only see the real actors during tax time. They're dressed up as dollar bills in commercials for fly-by-night accountants. Talking about giving you,
all kinds of stuff.
But his hair reminded me of this guy, Bruce Valanche. So that's even that Jason Momoa hair was just kind of sitting on top of his head like this guy. You familiar with this guy, Charles?
I am.
Yeah. Is that all that needs to be said about him?
Yep.
Okay. We will remove him from our screen then.
Well, you're not a fan of Bruce Valanche? You don't know the Bruce Valanche?
I'm familiar with. Bruce.
Come on, he had quite a run on Hollywood Squares back in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
I wasn't watching at that point.
I had so much more
You
to
should have.
do
It was
in the late
classic
90s.
TV.
Hollywood Square.
I mean, he was no Whoopi. He was no Center Square, but
Center Square.
still.
Whoopee for the block.
You know why she got her name, Whoopi, right? That was a nickname they gave her because she kept falling. Just
I
get.
don't know if that's accurate or not.
That's my truth.
You live your
I know why
story.
she dropped the Goldberg.
Oh, has she dropped the Goldberg?
That out loud? I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like we've transitioned into movies, have we? I think we've transitioned from using that as
Yes, Minecraft is a movie, right?
Oh yeah. Technically.
Minecraft is a movie. And
If you'd asked me just before that trailer, I would have zero interest. Now that I've found out that it's Jared Hess, I'm a little bit interested. I kind of want to know what a Napoleon Dynamite Nacho Libre guy would do with Minecraft. So,
but he's only got a certain amount of success.
True.
That he's only reached a certain level of did I say success? What's just synonym for success?
You're right. Like his movies haven't quite taken off. Nothing has been as popular or gotten to the zeitgeist like Napoleon Dynamite or Nacho Libre. So I think that's what, like 2006 was Nacho Libre. So it's been a minute, for sure.
He's may have already
some
been
fun shows though.
He may have.
I think there's this weird show called Son of Zorn that was like part animation, part live action. It was fun, but it didn't get the credit that it deserved. I wanted to see where they would have gone had they got multiple seasons, but canceled.
Yeah, a lot of stuff doesn't get multiple seasons, and stuff that does sometimes shouldn't. There's way too many seasons of Prison Break. So,
I know. How long does it take to break out? Just break out. You could have.
Well, they broke out, and then they broke out, and then they had to break in. And
could have been a movie. You just break out. It's Prison Break. Then you have another one, part 2, breaking in.
But that's something that you can't do anymore. You can't do that type of programming. We were talking about 26, 23 episodes a year.
Yeah, remember when they used to do that? It was awesome. You had content, lots of it. I've noticed this going back and rewatching some of the older stuff. How many more episodes per season that you got back when people actually worked?
Well, that first season would have taken 6 years if it was done now. If you were to do Prison Break right now, and you did it 8 episodes at a time, and you waited 2 years between each season. And you're trying to get to 23 episodes. It's going to take 6 years, and I don't think anybody's willing to do that.
8 episodes is not a season. It's just, unless your seasons are for a year, like there are fall, spring, winter, summer, 4 seasons. If you give me 8 episodes every season, but remember we used to get the replays. We got the regular episodes in the fall, the new stuff all came out. We watched all the new ones. Then they ran the reruns. Then they ran them again, right? While they were making the new stuff. They did it every year. It wasn't that hard to do. They gave us a lot of episodes of a show every year.
Yeah, but now there's a lot of embezzlement going on in Hollywood. So it's harder to make something because there's never enough money to do it.
Everybody's getting their cut. Everybody's in there trying to get a bigger cut.
Not everybody's getting the cut. That's my point, Pops, is that the people still aren't getting paid who make it. So the money's going somewhere. But Nico says Jack Black is just a proto Zach Galifianakis. I can't believe I said that. But with we almost never see them being popular at the same time. Charles, do you think maybe the same person is playing Jack Black and Zach Galifianakis?
It's Andy Kaufman.
It's Andy Kaufman.
Definitely.
Andy Kaufman is pulling the ultimate.
Or Tony Clifton, should I say.
Tony Clifton, yes. May the coffee never stop flowing. Ooh, man. derailed so poorly.
I'm really good at that.
So let's take a look at some of the headlines real quick.
Who needs the facts when you have headlines? They're more dramatic than the truth. Just the headlines, that's all you need. That's better than calling this gossip.
So we got these headlines out now that Beetlejuice aims to clear 100 million in scary good opening weekend.
Well, I screwed up my prediction. Yeah, good times. I said I don't see it crossing 100, and my bad.
And Collider was telling on you because they say Beetlejuice blows past expectations in domestic box office debut. So yeah,
I knew it would.
they said you got it wrong. That's what they said because it blew past your expectations.
Current estimates for the weekend are 110.
110?
Yeah.
The first movie was so, I mean, you guys, I mean, now everybody thinks it was great, but when it came out, it was kind of underrated. I thought it was great. And a lot of people were like, it was funny. It was okay. I thought Keaton blew the first one apart. He was awesome. And yeah, I totally looked forward to this. Man, I wish they'd have done it a long time ago. You know, there should have been a part 2 a long time ago. That was a good movie.
I don't think it would have been as successful as this one, though. If
Right.
it had come out
and waited long enough for us to go, oh, hell yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing. Like, it's just been such a weird year with like Furiosa. So, like, the prequel to, you know, a movie from what was it, like 12 years ago or 10 years ago? Now I can't even remember when that one came out. Just you would have thought that George Miller one would have gotten a lot more traction. You know, it's the Mad Max franchise. We're actually getting Max and Furiosa together, sort of.
And that's the
it just did
thing,
nothing.
is that it is so this right here is the blueprint everybody tries to follow when rebooting a property, when reviving a property, when going back and making another sequel to something. This is what they're aiming for. However, it doesn't always happen. You can't always get the band back together and equal success, as Carol Burnett will tell you.
Yeah, well, look at the Ghostbusters one from earlier this year. Like, they were definitely expecting a little bit more pop than this one got. What is it, Frozen Empire? But I'm trying to remember Afterlife or whatever.
Yes.
They thought we're gonna have this whole new franchise after this, but I don't know. It's been a strange year for sequels. I would have thought that one would do better, and I would have thought Furiosa would have done a lot better. So I was predicting lower on this. I was wrong.
Yes. Are you saying that Ghostbusters got ghosted?
A little bit. He was a female ghost, but you know, she could play chess.
What was that, Charles?
Too many people.
Too many people in Ghostbusters?
You have ghosts as characters. Start killing some of those bastards.
We're already about this one too, but I'm not speaking from experience.
No, but they did their nice little twist. Their nice little twist that was actually part of the story and wasn't woke because it was essential to the story. You know, she had herself a little ghost girlfriend, and
It was platonic.
It was not platonic.
It was.
It was more implied than anything else because she was heartbroken at the end of that. Not best friend heartbroken, but heartbroken. Actually heartbroken. So I mean, they skirted it. They walked right up to it, and then they kissed with closed lips. Is what they did with the subject matter. That is, writers.
Yeah,
they came right up to it, and it's like, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Even though they didn't come out and just like say,
I mean, it's like when Nightmare on Elm Street 2. It is just the gay subtext is so heavy in that movie, but it's to a point where if they needed to, they could say, "I don't know what you're talking about," but you know, they definitely made it like that.
I mean, it wasn't agenda driven filmmaking,
right?
You know, but it made sense within the story. If it was agenda driven, they did it the right way, is what I'm saying. Everything plays, if it plays to the story and it plays to the characters themselves and it's true to them, then it's not hack and it's not preachy and it's not somebody just trying to glorify an ideal. It's not idealism. It's just the part of the story. The story needs to be told in a specific way. And her being the out of sorts character that was being ignored by everybody else, that felt alone and isolated, that's where you find this type of story to thrive a little bit better. And so it made perfect sense because she was actually targeted by this ghost for that particular reason. So it makes sense. And I would not question its validity as a story plot, as I would call it a plot device, a gimmick, a deus ex machina to get that particular point of view in. Does that make sense?
I understand your opinion.
I disagree.
I agree that that's an opinion.
You don't have to disagree publicly or privately if you don't want to. That's fine, but you can. We invite all kinds of opinions here, and
even the wrong ones.
Yes, including mine. So
I felt very welcomed.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think of it as a weakness to the whole thing, is what I'm saying.
Do you think everyone was like chomping at the bit to get like a new Beetlejuice? Like Pops was mentioning, it just seems so long away from when the original one was. But I don't know. With Michael Keaton being willing to go back to the Batman and now Beetlejuice, maybe it opens up some other characters.
How about new ones?
We can't do that. We need a certain guarantee from the IP. Come on, Charles.
When they asked him, Michael Keaton, about his feelings on the whole Flash thing and them putting the kibosh on Batman Beyond, like, hey, I got paid a lot of money and it was kind of fun. So, my new house is happy about it.
I still think that somebody's like a fair amount of people want Rocky 7. And it's like, guys, he's almost 80.
But I kind of want to see him in the ring.
Let the character die, please.
But they won't go see Expendable 6. I don't think that's fair. Pops, how do you feel about Beetlejuice? Did you see the movie?
I did not see the movie, but I'm looking forward to seeing the movie because, yes, I was a big fan of the first one. I don't really know why. I was just a huge fan of it. I thought it was freaking hilarious. I liked Michael Keaton.
It's a fun world.
Way before Batman, okay? I liked Michael Keaton back during the Night Shift era. The Johnny Dangerously era.
Oh, so good.
Michael Keaton is a funny guy if you let him do his thing. Beetlejuice was hilarious.
Plus the cast. Like everyone, the ensemble in Beetlejuice is just like amazing. I don't think there's one actor that shouldn't be there. I mean, they killed off one actor for this new one, but even Jeffrey Jones, like being the father, he's like perfect in that role. Like, I don't know. I love as far as Tim Burton goes, that's my favorite one. That is like peak Burton to me.
You see?
Also died in real life.
Does anybody know why Alec Baldwin didn't show up? Is he in court?
Just a couple ideas. Seems like they could have gotten Gina Davis.
Yeah, Gina Davis is missing from this as well, isn't she? I mean,
she was just in Blink twice. It seems like she's also willing to get back out there a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe she didn't come back if Alec didn't come back. One of those type of deals.
I need to see this.
Speculation. Don't know.
Has anybody seen that Ridge movie? Is it Ruby Ridge? No, it's not Ruby Ridge. It's a Netflix movie.
About the Ridge Wallet?
The Ridge Wallet biopic pick. I know the one that you're talking about, but no, I have not had a chance to see it yet. It's on a list.
I don't know what the name of it is.
I swear it's got alliteration and it's something about our Ridge. Like, yeah, I'll look it up.
It's like a verb and a noun, as is the 90s style titling, where you kind of spin the wheel of verbs and it's like
Rebel Ridge.
Oh,
Rebel Ridge. There you go. Not Ruby Ridge. Don't get confused. It's not Ruby Ridge. It's Rebel Ridge.
Ridge. It's alliteration.
Rebel Ridge. Kind of like Peter Parker.
The hamburger. Rubble.
Rubble. Oh my goodness! They had to change the Hamburglar because it infringed too much on.
Is that where the cape comes from?
Yeah, rubble. But yeah. Some people are happy with the whole Beetlejuice thing, and
It's an interesting franchise. Like I remember they went like I can't remember if it was Happy Meal toys or something. I just know that I inherited a whole bunch of like Beetlejuice, the animated series toys when I was a kid, and it came from one of those like either Happy Meals or something like that. It was one of the fast food toys that they were giving out. And then they had this weird cartoon series that was I don't know. This whole franchise is interesting. It's kind of awesome. It's getting a resurgence, but yeah,
I was always
weird one to make a
bothered
children's
by.
show.
I was always bothered by the arranged child marriage thing in Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
That
Although it's a great scene. The whole like, come on, get on with it. And then the weird fireplace. I gotta say, I love that movie.
There's a bunch of things. Like if you think about Back to the Future long enough, why is Doc with Marty? Like, how did they meet? Why are they friends?
Yeah,
there's some things where it's like, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right at all.
There's a line in Stripes where Bill Murray says something about teenage cheerleaders, and it's before they join the military, or shortly after, and lamenting life in the military. And yeah, there was the life was a little more casual in cinema back in the day with what they thought about youngins, if you will. So
different time.
Some things, and it made me think that maybe Beetlejuice was like, well, if I can't have the mom, I'll go after the daughter kind of scenario, but I don't think that's what's going on. I don't know what the actual plot of the movie is.
I mean, Catherine O'Hara, though, like I could see it. She's hilarious. I can understand, going for her, but if you can't, I guess you could settle for Winona.
Yeah.
Settle. I'd settle for Winona.
Nobody settles for Winona. They are very happy. Stripes was hilarious. I think it was Warren Oates' last movie. He did great playing Dillinger a few years earlier. Well, there we go. Gray Wolf is on ball.
Fun movie.
Stripes or Dillinger?
Stripes. Dillinger is not nearly as fun, but good flick.
Yeah, very much so. So that's that with the movies. Oh my goodness. The only thing we have left is wrestling. And there's a lead into that, isn't there? I believe there is.
Usually.
Bloody Women. Yes, it's the next Jane Eyre thing. Right after
First they were little, now they're bloody.
Where the hell is that? I'm going to put this up just in case. Okay, we're not. I found it. Wheel of Topics, by the way.
Somebody wants to know about wrestling. Some people call it wrestling, baby. Sports entertainment, brother. Suplex, clothesline, powerbomb, pile driver, sleeper hold, figure four, moonsault, DDT, body slam, headlock, leg drop, armbar, choke slam, sharpshooter, backbreaker. It's Sugiri.
Insugiri.
Itsugiri is what I said. I had him do It's Sugiri, Gary, because it wasn't getting it right. So I had him purposely get it wrong.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
It
So sometimes you got to spell things out phonetically is what's going on. So That's what we did.
I refuse.
I refuse. Seriously.
I just want the AI pronunciation, and I'll just go with that.
So yeah, we had ourselves a pay-per-view last night. Let me get back to where we were at. All Out 0 Hour. I'm putting this in the wrong spot. Let me do this. Boom. Over here. Yes, second screen. Here we go. And there were about 7 matches on the main card, but you can't have a pre-show called 0 Hour without having at least 4 matches that were unannounced and people weren't ready for. So we started off with a trios match. A trios match, for those who don't know, is 3 men versus 3 men or women. 3 women versus 3 women.
Inclusive.
In this case, it was the Iron Savages, whose slogan is, I'll say it, titty time or something like that. And they were the much bigger ones. However, the
Titties?
Actually, yes.
Hefty ones, if you will.
But they didn't come out on top. It was the Acclaimed who won. So,
well, I mean, it is kind of in their name, right? They are the Acclaimed. How could they not get the acclaim?
But kind of the Iron Savages got to shine on a pre-show to a pay-per-view. So they're getting closer to the big game. Good on them. We had another trios match, which was actually labeled a trios match, unlike this one, which was not. This was Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, who are the ROH Tag Team Champions, along with Hologram, who is the latest Mexican import.
Looks like a robot.
And, yes. And his name is Hologram.
How come the one trio is 4?
Oh, you're talking about the premier athletes. The one guy in the back with the beard instead of the 3 guys in the front with the beard. He's the manager.
So he is wearing a shirt, so that makes sense. Now it all makes sense.
And he's a his character is a slight gimmick. His name is Smart Mark Sterling. Smart marks are what they call the people who watch wrestling and report on wrestling and say things like me, who don't actually know anything about wrestling, but pretend to know about wrestling. So the smart marks are the ones that fall for everything. So, but
I'm
so
not believing any of this.
Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara and Hologram were successful over the premier athletes.
It makes sense. Like, how do you wrestle a hologram? How do you win? You can't pin a hologram.
Yeah. And then we had another trios match on the 0 Hour because Tony Khan, for goodness sakes, he loves to invest in his toys. And if the more people on in a match, the more he has to pay. And so everybody's getting paid.
Bang, gang, bang?
Bang, 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 gang. Not the gang, bang, gang.
I read it
the bang, bang, gang. It's a little bit of a Freudian slip there, Charles.
I read it like a last name first.
These guys like to party, is what you're saying. Versus the Dark Order, who is one of the original trios tag teams of the company.
I don't suppose the guy in the mask in the back is their manager. I'm assuming
no, he's actually he actually wrestled in that
The
shirt and tie. He's Evil Uno.
Based. How proper.
And he used to have a partner. I hate the way this snaps. Hang on a second. Wrong one. Back over here. Now it's too far gone. Where'd it go? Went too far down. All right.
Nope.
I'm saying bang, bang, though.
Dynamo art.
What happened? What's going on?
Oh no.
Went too far.
There's
all right, 0 Hour. The Acclaimed one. We did these guys right there. And yes, we're back at the Bang Bang Gang and the Dark Order. It was fine. The Bang Bang Gang got the better of the Dark Order. And then we had a sighting of Sky Blue. Okay, Sky Blue is she recently broke her leg on live.
So you're saying it's sky blue and the red?
Yes, Sky Blue is in the red.
On brand.
She still owes money. She hasn't got paid. She's got some outstanding invoices. Sky Blue is in the red. And
Not the one with the blue.
Mariah May came out and kicked the crutches out from under her and was getting ready to beat her down with those crutches. And she was saved by Queen Amanada. Photo not included.
Queen Amidala?
Queen Amidala's in this one too.
Queen Amanada.
Nice.
Amanada saying it right, I guess. Ama got Italian accent.
She ultimately becomes senator. So
Senator
Wow.
Amanada. That would be awesome.
Pat.
She changes her name after she wins a belt. That would be awesome. She becomes another senator. Amanada. But as you can see, I don't know if I've given too much away here. There was another trios match
Oh,
in the all out 0 hours.
wait, there's 4 people in suits on the left.
Yes, because they are top.
The nurse
flight.
is not one of the trio.
That is
No, she's not a nurse. She's a flight attendant.
the
Oh, my
They are
bad.
pilots. They are pilots, and she's a
Oh.
flight attendant. They're called top flight, and they've finally gotten to their gimmick of what they are. And then you have the Undisputed Kingdom in the center, and Lee Moriarty and the Beast Mortos and Shane Taylor.
It's a lot of people.
So some
Yes.
pilots are taking on undisputed
Mhm.
champions and a beast. Wow.
I mean,
It's another Mexican.
It doesn't
import,
bode
Beast
well for them.
Mortos.
it doesn't seem smart to knock out the pilots, especially if you guys travel together. Like that's bad.
Yes.
For safety's sake alone, you might want to let them
Darn it.
off easy.
Okay, here we go. Oh, look, Undisputed
no.
one. They were not
Well,
disputed.
there
this
is no
time.
dispute here.
So
Yes,
what's the
this-
fighting about?
It's about 15, 30 minutes.
That's a
Yes.
George Carlin thing. I don't want to.
So they, a lot of high flying, and the Beast Mortos did all of the work in tenderizing one of the top flight guys, and then Roderick Strong of the Undisputed Kingdom came in and kicked him out of the ring and took the pin. So he was sneaky. He was a sneaky little sucker. But they were undisputed, and this leads us to All Out, the very first match.
Oh,
MJF versus Daniel Garcia. And this got bloody pretty quick, and they took a lot of serious bumps in this. At one point, they did a suplex over the ropes to the outside concrete floor, both of them tumbling like a set of slinkies. You ever
nice.
see the slinkies go downstairs? That's what it looked like.
A loner in pairs.
Yes. And, it was the two of them together.
Huh.
And, hey, I was wrong about this. I thought that Daniel Garcia won because I was fighting with, what is it? Not Dish Network. Sling TV. We ordered the pay-per-view, which, as everybody knows now, is over $50, right? And it wasn't showing up. And so we had to spend the entire time arguing with them to get them to give us a refund or get it to work. We reset the TV and everything. So the full 30-minute match, I was trying to follow online while we were dealing with this. And eventually we got them to issue a refund, which will be, 7 to 10 days away? Something like that. And
They take
then
it in seconds.
mhm,
To give it
And-
back, it takes weeks.
absolutely. And so we gave YouTube 50 some odd dollars too. So all in all, so far this pay-per-view has cost me $100. Thank you, Sling, for being there.
You could have
And-
saved $30 and got Outlaws.
Yeah. Anyway, I got this wrong. Daniel Garcia did not win. MJF did win. But then Daniel Garcia gave MJF a low blow to the crotch, and then took him up to the corner, and from the middle top rope gave him a pile driver.
There's
So
no
he's-
way a ref would have let him get away with a low blow, right? Like
It was after the match. It was after the
Oh,
match.
okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So yeah, after the match, and when he lost, I thought I thought to myself, if they were going to give Garcia the win, which I thought they did, then more than likely he was going to re-sign with the company. However, they gave him the loss, which is what you do with somebody who's leaving the company. So it's interesting because he has not signed his contract, but he has done 2 or 3 more matches since being unavailable to sign a contract. Next up was the Young Bucks versus the Blackpool Combat Club in a tag team match for the AEW Tag Team Champions. Now, you'll see some belts around the Blackpool Combat Club. They are the Trios champions, along with somebody else. And they came to get another set of belts. And no, they were not successful, the Young Bucks. My prediction was the Bucks would win, would retain, and they did. We had Will Ospreay versus Pac, and this was a banger of a match. Lots of high spots, lots of fast moving action. Not showing a lot of pictures of these things because I was dealing with stuff back then. So yeah, I predicted Will Ospreay would retain, and he did. But yeah, they hurt themselves a lot. Very, very violent. Speaking of violence, this was a Chicago street fight between Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander. And I, for some reason, thought it was for the CMLL Women's Championship. It was not.
It's just a fight.
It was just a fight.
Well,
and YouTube, look away.
Oh, here we go.
You read it? Yeah, I think so. Willow. All right.
Wow, that was a very hard hit. Ooh.
Yes, there's a lot of hard hits, and they went through 4 tables.
Our tables.
And look, she gets clipped by the feet and gets taken down.
Oh,
which she wasn't supposed to. And that's 2 tables so far. There's another suplex. There's a trash can.
Not the trash can.
Absolutely.
Oh, missed the trash can.
Light bulbs. That's right. Real glass. Crimea River. There's the other 2 tables. And then there's some thumbtacks coming.
My back is bleeding just watching this.
Oh, your back isn't bleeding yet.
That was a hell of a slap.
Biting her head.
Ouch. Did she just splits on the tags?
She did. She did. And she lost.
Nobody should split on the tags.
Lose.
Wow.
Yes, Blackpool, UK. Yes, the Blackpool Combat Club. It was Stephen Regal who started the Blackpool Combat Club.
Wow, the chain too.
Yes, very, very bloody, this thing. And yeah, she quit. And so
she tapped.
Statlander won.
She more like waves.
And I had to make the correction that she did not win the CMLL Women's Championship in that fight. But she did beat the CMLL Women's Champion if she still got the belt. Now, these guys, they did some high flying, and they did a fast-paced match. Not quite the banger the women had, which was very, very impressive.
I like it when the women bang, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's always more enjoyable.
And I predicted
is the guy in the middle part werewolf.
Yes. Well, actually, they call him Chicken, which is interesting. Mark Briscoe. He's one of the Briscoe brothers. And they did a lot of high spots and things. And I thought Kanoshite Takeshita was going to get a pin over Mark Briscoe to get the win and take away the belt from Okada so that they could build a feud to Okada going back and saying, I never lost the belt. And them two going together. Please ignore the racism.
I was trying. I couldn't. It was just so present.
So, yeah, there's Takeshita being the badass I expect him to be. He went from a Styles Clash into a deadlift German suplex. which is hard to do. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
looks like that causes whiplash too. Nice move.
yeah, Okada kept his belt. So that's what happened there. And then they had the potty break.
CEO.
Yes, somebody had a sign up that said CE blow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More like CE no.
And I predicted she would retain through shenanigans, but no, I was incorrect. She retained through straight wrestling. And it says here, it says something in a foreign language, but basically it means that she should have changed her finisher because 90% of the people can't do it. And here she is with her finisher, and it just looks like she rolled her over.
It doesn't even look like that would hurt. Come on.
She's supposed to fall flat on her face, and she can never get them to do that.
She shouldn't do ridiculous moves because doesn't she like injure everyone she wrestles with?
She's injured a lot of people.
Yeah.
And in this particular match, it was the slowest and most boring part of the pay-per-view.
At least her mic skills are good.
And I don't think she can blame somebody hating her for the lack of skill and presentation that happened in this match. If you have 3 matches and they're all dullards and you blame each one of them for not doing their best to carry you, it's because you're too hard to carry in a match. Meaning that she's just not any good.
Yeah. It's funny because I used to say that before when she had that other name.
Well, when she had the other name, she had people plotting out her matches for her. Here in AEW, they can plot their matches out ahead of time, or they can fly off the cuff. Now, Sheeta is one of these fly off the cuffs. We'll do whatever we want to do. Obviously, the spots were planned out for the other ladies because they had to go from point A to point C and hit point B in between in order to get those spots in. First table, second table, garbage can, 2 tables, go back to the ring.
Don't forget the chain.
Well,
and the clit tax.
Yeah, I'm still worried about that crotch shot to the tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lip piercings. That was all Twitter had to talk about for a little while. Anyway, Mercedes Moné won with that particular sad, pathetic move. And then you had the biggest shocker of the night, Bryan Danielson defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Jack Perry.
Real class.
And Danielson for the win. That was my prediction. And he did win. But after that...
Oops.
Oh, no.
What is he doing to the American Dragon? This media has been disabled in response to a report by the copyright owner because what he was doing was incredibly horrifying.
In my mind, I might have made this worse than it was in reality.
I don't know.
Nope. There were
I'm
this
building
is
it up
murder
quite
chants.
big.
There were chants of this is murder going on in the actual arena for the video that this picture illustrates.
Ooh.
Bryan Danielson can poke a hole in a plastic bag. Come on, guys.
Well, he's being distracted by the fact that he's being choked in his neck too. So
yeah, well, he's got his hand right over his mouth. I'm just saying he can poke a hole.
Yeah,
it was just an homage to the remake of The Crow. It's advertising is all.
Black Christmas.
It's more likely an homage to the Ric Flair Terry Funk plastic bag sequence on TNT, TNA back in the day.
Yeah.
All right, so it works on many levels.
Yes.
It's not like it hasn't been done before.
Many levels.
Well, these are his partners that were that turned on him. So not only did the Blackpool Combat Club turn on him and become heels, but they tried to murder the champion.
I hate it when my buddies try to suffocate me.
They were always kind of heels.
In public.
Even when they were favorites, they were always kind of heels. Come on. It's Moxley. Come on.
Yeah. And then probably the most uncomfortable match to watch was this cage match.
More uncomfortable than Splits tax.
Yes,
Huh.
yes, more
You've
uncomfortable
got my
than the
attention.
Splits tax. Okay, my prediction was blood, lots of it, and Swerve for the win, and the feud continues. But I got that wrong. Yes, there was blood and lots of it, but Swerve did not get the win. In this sequence here, you will see Swerve getting dropped on his back
No,
onto a cinder block.
no.
Yes.
Oh,
The lower back.
That
Yeah, that's
that was real brick, by the way.
yeah, that didn't look
Yeah, it
comfortable.
didn't move.
Cry me a river, real brick. One more time for the guys in the back.
Oh,
Yeah, these guys
What are
attempted
you
murder.
supposed to land on that? Like, are you supposed to get like kind of your butt meat on there? Like, what prevents that from just like destroying your spine?
oh,
Nothing.
dude.
You could
Okay.
unload some of it on your upper back if you take it with your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yes, but
I
then you run the
definitely-
risk
Yeah,
of
but they were so
cracking
low
your
on that.
shoulder
That was
bone.
Yeah.
not the shoulder.
Yeah.
Shoulder blades will be split in two and snapped like a wing, chicken wing. No, I'm not going to read seven. Anyway, everything else I wanted to highlight from this has been removed from Twitter as well.
Boo.
Wow.
Was he up and moving after that, or did he just kind of pin him immediately after?
Yes,
that move?
he was up and moving, and he took the
Okay.
chair shot from hell after that.
On top of that, he took a chair shot.
Yes, they returned.
Tell me they
back
didn't
to
bust out the
chair shot.
thumbtacks.
Is Swerve okay? This gotta
Don't know.
wow.
Hang on, let me see if I can find what I'm looking for.
You still haven't found.
What I'm looking for.
Oh, we got to pay money for that.
Oh, do we?
I mean, that was a duet. It seems transformative.
Yeah.
Let me look up and see what's going. Oh, yes. Let me just come over here real quick. Here's a syringe being stuck in his mouth, and then the chair shot.
Why though?
Because this is like a death match.
In death matches, you put a syringe in your
No.
opponent's mouth?
No.
Okay.
And somebody caught it from a better angle in the crowd. The
This
chair
is
shot.
a better. Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
On the head.
Broke
You would
the
think they
chair
didn't like
Huh.
each other.
On the
You would
head.
think that. Yeah. Right on the head. And
Huh.
that ended the match.
Whoa.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Swerve as soon as the bell rings. Yeah. Okay.
That looked
people
like
being
somebody
funny.
getting shot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And watch this. Nope, this is not the it. As it goes out, he gets a psychotic look on his face, and people were able to crop out that part where it looks like he's got a crown on his head. Oh yeah, look at that.
Such a nice guy.
Oh.
That's a
for the
nice
children.
guy. And there are the highlights. They both dropped on the their backs on that thing.
Lower back.
Looks like he's doing that to himself again in the same
Yeah.
spot.
That tailbone's
Ugh.
just getting wrecked.
Cole wants to know if you've ever seen a death match.
I have. Generally, they don't involve a syringe to the mouth, but maybe I haven't kept up with my death
You're watching the
matches
wrong
like I
death
should have.
matches.
I bet you do get superpowers from drinking Swerve's blood.
Oh.
That's probably what happened there. Oh yes, and there was an attempted stabbing. And
To the face.
he actually what happened here is that Swerve's okay. He did not get stabbed in the head with that piece of wood. He was able to take it from Hangman's hands and then stabbed him multiple times in the top of his head.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes sense. Justified. Deserved.
Yeah. Look at the dent in that chair.
They
He
broke that
the
chair.
on his head.
It's not going to work correctly after that.
No, I think he's going to have to pay the deductible. Oh, I don't know what's going on there.
think it was somebody with a syringe stuck in their mouth.
So yeah. That was Swerve. That's the top. But what's the latest? Oh, that was the latest. Look at that. So yeah, that was a very, very bloody match. Is what that was.
I'll say.
Looks like it.
Well,
Oh my
wow.
goodness. That's not how you use juice cups. Okay. So yeah. Too bad you guys didn't see it.
Shame.
I mean, you have me intrigued from what I did see, but
You can watch the replays available on YouTube, and still costs as much. If you want to lose brain cells, then watch the bathhouse death match. Oh, the bathhouse.
does it involve like a tub, or what makes it the bathhouse version?
Is it a Russian
There a sauna
bathhouse
going?
death
Swimming
match?
pool. It was in the kiddie pool down at the park.
All right, I'm curious. Wrestling's first ever bathhouse death match.
So we're losing the brain cells live. I like it.
No.
Okay, Cole's saying he's not going to spoil anything. Just look it up. It's Japanese. The weirdest thing ever. Free on YouTube and Daily Motion. Excuse me. I'm going to have to look this up. Perhaps we'll have a new intro for the next time or whatever. You know,
maybe we
clip
will.
the kiddies.
Yeah, it was, yeah. It's apples and oranges there.
I remember back in the day when I was a kid, some really good cage matches with Mad Dog Vachon and his brother and the Crusher and the Bruiser. Bloody mess every time. They might as well have been death matches.
You don't get too many Mad Dogs these days.
Mad Dog Vachon and his brother, they were. I mean, you remember his daughter wrestled. Can't remember her first name, but
Luna.
Luna Vachon. Mad Dog was a beast. Him and his brother, they were crazy. It was good. Old AWA stuff.
All in all, it was an entertaining pay-per-view with lots of blood. It got disturbing towards the end with the attempted murder and the cinder blocks and syringes.
Yeah.
And wooden spikes like he was a vampire. Yes, a lot of that won't be highlighted on TV next week when they return to television. As a matter of fact, they've been trying to wipe the internet clean of that the gag with the plastic bag. Let's see if I can find something else here. So here we got MJF falling from the top rope onto his head. That's what happened to MJF earlier in the match, and that kind of set the tone for everything.
That's what he wants. Just do it.
So I don't know what's happening here. I think he's going to try to pick him up and then hurt his back. Nope. Just dropped him on his head. Did not win. So anyway, yeah, it was a good match. Blood, and more blood. So if you can see it, go see it. If not, found them. I'll DM them to Gray. Oh, okay, on Discord. Let me go to that. See what I can find. get it on the Discord, Greg?
I did not look, but I will.
Mr. Dan. I had to check out. I got other shows going on today, but I wanted to let you know about something. Talk to you about something.
Okay.
We are going to be adding another platform for broadcasting that we're going to be broadcasting shows to. I want to know if you'd be interested in us taking this show there as well.
And where would that be?
Pilled.net.
What? What's it called now?
Pilled, PILLED.net. And I'm
like red pilled.
Like red or blue or whatever. I don't know. I'm just telling you, we're taking some shows over there, and if you want us to take this one to the Madness Comic Network over there, we will.
I think I will take a look at that and see if it's something I'd like to be associated with. Because this particular show is not necessarily leaning one way or the theother. Everybody's free,
It's it's a free speech platform.
But
So
there's not, people get associated with certain things, and I don't know if that's something. I'll have to look at it to see, because
to me, it's just another place to get eyes on what people do. That's all.
Yeah, we don't have the eyes to have the haters yet, so we don't have any haters just fully yet. Sometimes we get a bot or two.
I'm not trying to get hated. I'm trying to make money so that we can go to Roku, and the more platforms we're on, the more we can make money to go to Roku.
Oh, well, I'm actually on Roku right now, so we're doing Roku, and I see we're doing Facebook as well. Is that what we're doing, Pops?
We're not on Roku, not by me.
Oh, no, I've got us on Roku. I've got a Roku channel.
You do?
Yes.
How do I not know this?
Yeah, I've got a Roku channel that I broadcast to on occasion, and I see somewhere we've got a Facebook going on with this stream, and we're on X on somebody's stream. So
that's also me. Yeah.
Glad to be there for that. That reminds me of that tag team finisher back in the day where they just threw wrestlers in the air and then pushed them to the ground, and it always looked horrible. Yeah.
All right.
So what's coming up next, Pops?
The Madness Open Drawstring, 1 o'clock.
Where people be drawing.
Anybody who ever wants to draw whatever they want. It's a open drawstring.
Okay.
I try to get enough people in there so I don't have to be there. I don't draw, so I just sit there and talk. It's better if there's a bunch of people there drawing. You know what I mean? I could just sit in the backstage and switch screens, right?
Yes.
Highlight comments. That's what I want. I'm a producer. I don't like doing too many shows myself. And right now I do too many. Today, Madness Open Drawstring, the show-offs. Later in the evening, we have some stuff. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah, the Silverline Show, Sunday Silverline Show, and then random stuff from John's Long Box. So, Sunday's pretty busy.
Pretty busy. It looks like a bathhouse. This looks like a tag team match, maybe, is what's going on there. Pops, we're so glad that you were able to show up. I'm sorry I forgot to get you in right at the very beginning. Glad you made it. We're glad to be a part of the Madness Comic Book Network.
Is that a Flat Earth logo on there?
Let me see.
They're proto Flat Earthers.
Is that a flat Earth map?
I think any 2D map of the Earth is a Flat Earth logo.
I don't think it's supposed to be, but it was later adopted as one.
It looks like it's got all the continents on that one flat surface. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's because they cover the world. They cover the entire world.
Okay.
Speaking of which, look at those satellites.
This
guys look like moons.
The UN logo. You know what I mean?
I think this intro is going to take a little bit of time. Yes, this is taking a little bit of time. Yes, it's taking a little bit of time. What happened here?
Well, you get one opponent out at a time, and the other has to sit in a bath, which is I've never seen this before. It was interesting.
Oh.
He said, "Don't play it live, or your stream's gone, dude." He said, "Don't play it live."
Oh. Well, okay then.
Don't play it.
In that case, let's say goodbye to everything but Rumble.
Okay, I'm out. I got stuff to do.
Okay, thanks for being around,
See you, Pops.
Pops.
But I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
See you, sir.
Well, I don't know anything about that. This is such a surprise to me. We won't show this,
Bye-bye.
at least on YouTube. If you want to see what else we're going to watch, we're going to be going to Rumble here in just a moment. But until then, Gray, what do you got going on?
Not a ton, but hey, you know what? Charles has something going on. If you're not doing anything tomorrow and you want to know more about the box office, perhaps this Beetlejuice might just come up. Go on over to Charles's channel, YouTube at Willis Greedia, and show business. He has this show where he graciously allows me to be there as part of it, but Charles goes over the box office and a whole bunch of news from the movie industry. So if you are into the business of show, come over and check out Show Business. It's usually Mondays, sometimes other days. Go over to Willis Greedia's channel and ring that bell, and then you'll know exactly what day it is, but most likely tomorrow night. But that's the main thing. And then every Thursday there's the Thinkers on That Darn Kidda's channel, YouTube at That Darn Kidda. It's people from at least 3 different continents getting together, disagreeing about everything. I think me and Charles are going to be heavily featured in this next one as we kind of take on bad media / film criticism. I don't know. There was kind of the idea put forth last time that bitterness is what fuels a lot of these remakes, reboots, sequels, and I just don't see it. The other thing put forward was that it's narcissism. I have a different contention that's not what's bringing that about. So if you want to hear people from at least 3 different continents disagreeing about why sequels and reboots and everything else is made, come check it out. It's Thursday mornings on That Darn Kidda's channel. That's all I got going on. What about you, Rizals? What do you have going on, sir?
Well, we've got this show here, and we've got some comic books that are available. As a matter of fact, look, here's a blast from the past. Check it out. That's me at the Sona Prison in Prison Break, season 3, episode. I forget which episode it is. Doesn't matter.
Wow.
That's me on my knees. I had bad knees.
The aforementioned Prison Break.
Yes.
Wow.
I broke out.
Came full circle.
We've got our next issue of Stunning Adventures coming out this month, actually, on the 25th, around there. And Lucha, the Crackdown, this character, who wears a Mexican mask and gets powers from them, is taking on the Skin Hunters. So these are people that peddle in flesh, and he's going to be taking them on in this particular issue. As a matter of fact, they're using a front of a wrestling company to do so. So find out how he deals with that in the upcoming adventures, Stunning Adventures. So that's what I got going on. Charles, did he cover everything for you?
Might still be gone, but I think that's the main thing. But he does have some awesome, what would you call that? Coals in the fire. So ring the bell on Willis Greedia, and then you'll know exactly what he's up to.
Very much so. Very much so. It's well worth the wait when he gets the content out. Yeah, I think he's finishing up on some other stuff. If you need your hosting, if you need websites, go to dmrhosting.com, where business plans, hosting plans start at $486. Get upwards of 500 email accounts, unlimited disk space, unlimited traffic, 5 domains hosted, and a free domain name. So it's something I use. It's something I trust my family to use, and I recommend it to you as well. So give it a try.
Oh, yeah.
That's that. All right. we're going to call it a day, folks, for YouTube, for Facebook, for Xbox. And if you want to see the rest of this match, apparently it's got nudity, we'll be on Rumble. So we'll talk to you later.